Okay, we're doing a little brief history of Blackburn Rovers FC, my team. Now, I've never done a video on these guys at all on the channel. I've made deliberately sure that I keep the teams that I support. I do as few videos on them as possible. You'll notice I think I've done 2 videos on the Canberra Raiders in the NRL. I've done a fair few videos on the Winnipeg Jets because they were in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I've done a fair few videos on them. But for the most part, the teams I follow, I've done one video on the Exeter Chiefs as well. So the 4 teams that I follow, I've not really done a lot of videos on them, so I'm trying to be as neutral as possible. On this one, I have to, because I have promised a viewer that I would do a history of football clubs, not primarily, well, across Europe basically, and maybe South America as well. So we're going to look at some historical clubs, and I thought I'll start with my favourite team, and then we'll look at some really historical clubs around the world. But anyway, Blackburn Rovers, founded 1875. Founders of the Football League. The motto, Arte et Labore, skill and hard work in Latin. Ewood Park is the home, and the capacity is 31,367. That's all the boring stats. Now, the trophies we have won that are the key trophies that are the old First Division, which is now technically classed as the Championship due to the Premier League starting in '92, was won twice by the club in 1912 and 1914. The last team before World War I to lift the old First Division title before war broke out. Premier League obviously was won in '94-95. The FA Cup was won a staggering 5 times in 7 years and 6 times overall. 1884, 1885, 1886, 1890 and 1891. Also won in 1928. Because of those 5 wins in 7 years, the original FA Cup is now the property of Blackburn Rovers FC, and a new one had to be designed and cast. The current FA Cup now, I think, is the 3rd FA Cup in design. All the designs are very similar, but that is currently the 3rd style of FA Cup. The 3rd edition. The first one was given to us because we were the first club to win the cup 5 times. I think the second one was damaged or stolen, and the 3rd one is the current FA Cup we have today. The League Cup was won in 2002, and we have 1 win in that. The Community Shield we won once in 1912 as well, so that is the club's trophy history. There was a couple of 2nd Division titles in there, but you can't defend them the next season because you get promoted to the league above. I haven't covered them. For the most of the history of the club has been in the top tier. However, after 1936 we got relegated, along with another Football League founder in Aston Villa, outside of the top tier for the first time. So from 1875 to 1936 we were in the top tier. In 1958 the club got promoted, I believe, back in and lasted 8 years until 1966, the year England won the World Cup. From 1966 to 1992, we are not in the 1st Division. At one point, we almost got relegated out of the 3rd Division. I think in 1979, we survived on the last day of the season. Real tough times. Clubs' fortunes were at their lowest. They really were. In '92, we got, obviously, with the structure of the Premier League, we won, I believe, we came up through the old 2nd tier into what would have been the 1st Division, but we joined the Premier League. Within 3 years, we have won the title. Jack Walker, local businessman, bought the club, pumped money into the club. Dalglish is hired as manager, and then a certain Alan Shearer is paid a record transfer fee for when aged 22. Within 3 years, he's lifting his only major honour, which is the FA, which is the Premier League. Obviously, at the end of the '99 season, relegated, out 3rd time out the top tier. We bounced back get promoted alongside Fulham, and obviously in 2002, not long after we being back in the Premier League, we win the League Cup. Then the Venkies take over in 2010, and it all gets a bit squiffy in recent times. I believe it was 5 years ago we got relegated out of the Premier League. Might have been 6. Might be 5 or 6 years ago. And last season, just one before, so last year, we got relegated out of the Championship and ended up in League One, which we have spent 1 season in, and we came 2nd behind Wigan this season, and were promoted to direct promotion from League One after beating Doncaster 1-0. We finished, I think, 2 points behind Wigan this season. We had a little slip up, which is a bit annoying, but next season we're playing back in the Championship for the 2018-2019 season. When we've been outside the top tier, the 2nd tier has normally been our home. So we've been a top 2 division club. Most of our history has been in the top tier, but there have been 4 spells, which is currently the 4th one we're in, outside of the top division. It is very rare for a club to spend its entire existence in the top tier. I believe, could be wrong, Liverpool and maybe Everton, may be the only two clubs that have never been relegated out of the top division in English football. I could be wrong, and I will be doing club histories on them. So this is the first one. There's going to be a few research issues here. Now, the reason why I bought Blackburn was I was a 3-year-old, and my dad was watching the telly, well, Sky Sports, and Blackburn happened to be playing against his beloved Liverpool, I believe in 1992, in the first Premier League season, and for some reason I decided to support the Blue and Whites rather than the Reds of Liverpool, and that might have caused my dad some discomfort for the rest of his life, the next 18 years of it. And I don't think he forgave me really, but I can say this: we won a Premier League, and Liverpool haven't. That's what I'm saying on that one. Liverpool have won a fair few more trophies than we have, but we have that thing called the Premier League. In jest, I don't want to offend any Liverpool fans, but I use that as a joke against my father for the rest of his life. But my love was bonded. I just fell in love with the colours, with the team, and I've been supporting them ever since. I was 3 years old. I've seen 9 Blackburn games in my lifetime. I have every single programme from every single Blackburn game I've been to stored in the loft. And sadly, I haven't been able to get to Ewood Park. The one time I actually had tickets for Ewood Park was a Blackburn West Ham game, and the trains was, well, strike action. I could not get past Oxford from where I live, just west of London, and so I had to turn back. I didn't make it to the game, which was really annoying because my uncle had given me a surprise birthday present of 2 tickets for me and a friend, and we couldn't get past Oxford. The trains were all cancelled, which was an absolute arse. And it was a Sunday game as well, so I'd actually asked permission to miss a day of college, and I took a day of holiday and actually asked permission of my tutor to miss the Monday, and I ended up having to go in on Monday and going, yeah, the trains were all cancelled, we got stuck at Oxford for 12 hours, so I was really peeved off. However, every Blackburn game I've seen, we have won. Could be a sign, but every Blackburn game I've seen, we have won. A lot of the games I saw were against Southampton. Don't be a Southampton fan. But every Blackburn game I've seen, we have won, which is a crazy statistic. But I've been proud to be a Blackburn fan for 26 years. I'll continue to be a Blackburn fan for the next 26 years. I am a loud and proud Blackburn fan. But people ask me why. And simple. My dad was watching Sky Sports, I was sat on his knee, and I like the team in blue and white, and obviously his team were the ones playing in red. Simple as that. Blame your dad for this, for having Sky Sports on when he was babysit. There you go. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. This is my little brief history of the clean team I support. I will do other club histories and look at their trophy cabinets, how many trophies they've won, when they were founded, how many, the club history, famous moments. But Blackburn, we had the original FA Cup trophy. That's what I'm going to say on that one. 5 times in 7 years. That is a piece of history that will never be, I don't think, ever repeated, winning 3 FA Cups back to back to back. It's very hard to defend a title. It's even harder to retain it a second time. So there's that. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your thoughts below. If you are a Blackburn fan and I've missed out any moments in history, I was doing a brief one. There obviously are specific moments in the club's history that either A, I wasn't alive for, or B, I might have missed. So I'm more than happy to learn something new about the team that I've been following since '92. But thank you very much for watching. I think Blackburn deserve a little bit more credit than what they get in the press. Under the Venkeys, it's been a tough period of time since 2010. It's been a hard slog as fans of the club. Basically, since the Venkeys took over, I haven't been to a game, and that's out of not wanting to give those idiots any money. Really, they have tried their best to ruin the club. That's my personal opinion, but I'm going to leave that there. Don't have a rant about the owners because enough fans have done it over the last decade nearly. But thank you very much for watching, and please like, subscribe, place comments below, and I'll have some more videos, and like and subscribe as well, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.